Now I'm flexing like the jack of all trades. Yeah. And shout out my dog Andre. He a jack of all trades.
Alright guys, so in front of you, you have an LG washer and dryer. The problem that we're having today is the washer. When you put the washer in any cycle, it'll wash the clothes. But then when it gets to the part where it needs to spin the water out of the clothes, you'll get a OE error message. And the OE error message means that the machine cannot properly drain the water. Okay, so this one right here. The model number is WM0642HW. And it's an LG. All right. So if this happens to you, you have 3 ways to drain the water. Okay. The first one would be to open here and stick a wet back in here and just suck as much water out of here as you possibly can, but it'll still be a little more water in it. You get down to the bottom here, open up this little square right here. In here, right here is a manual drain. Okay, you can pull it out about that far. So you have a manual drain here. You just pull out this part right here and the water from the inside of the tub will drain out. If the water doesn't drain out, that means that this hose is clogged. Okay. Here is the filter. If you open this, all the water inside of the drum is just going to pour out. So you can kind of crack this if you want to. You can turn it a little bit. Let's see. Just a little bit like that, you know, and let some of the water out and just have a wet vac to get the water up. This right here will come all the way out. See? So you can see it has a little water on it now. When you remove this filter, if this filter is clogged up with, I don't know, anything, dirt, a sock or something like that, that can stop the machine from draining also. So I would check this first to see if this is clogged. If it's not draining, me personally, that means that the pump that pumps the water out of the system and out the drain back there is malfunctioning. Okay. And today, this video, I'm going to show you how to remove that pump and replace it with a new one. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is remove this door, and you can just push this over like that. And this whole door comes off. The next thing you're going to do is remove this filter. Just turn it. Take that out. Remove this drain, just like that. And you're going to remove this Phillips head screw here. All right, next, remove the screw. And then you're going to remove this whole panel here. So I got like a little right angle. I'm going to stick it aside right here. Pull that out, just like that. This whole thing comes out. Okay, so you have a screw down here, which is a Phillips head. You're going to remove that too. It's right here. All right, let's go to the top. All right, next thing you're going to do is open this, and you have 2 Phillips head screws here. You're going to remove that. Just take those out. Just like that. All right, so the next thing you need to do is take out this metal ring that holds in this rubber seal. If you look, let's see, kind of behind it, right here, there's a ring in there. Okay. And I will use a flathead so that you don't rip this. Don't rip this. Okay. But you can see it's right there. See that? So see that? So you're going to pull this off. Make sure you know where this little spring is at the bottom. So the spring stays at the bottom. You pull this off. Okay. All right. So basically at this time when we're dismantling this wash machine, it would be the best time to remove this and clean it and get all of this mold and stuff that gets there because you don't leave this open to let it dry. So we're going to take this out and clean this too, since we're already taking it apart. All right. So the next thing you want to do is remove this 8mm screw here and 8mm screw down here. And there you go right there. The two Phillip heads that we took out here were for the automatic lock. When you close the actual door and you turn it on, it automatically locks the door. So make sure when we put it back together that we put that back in and put the screws back in it. All right. So the next thing you're going to do is remove the cold and the hot inlet. You're going to need a pair of pliers to turn these to get these off, but we're going to remove those. All right. If you ever have a problem where the cold or hot water will not shut off, it just keeps pouring into the washing machine, that means that the cold inlet valve is bad or the hot inlet valve is bad. I have a video at the top right hand corner that shows you how to replace the cold inlet valve, but they're side by side. Very easy. All right. Next thing you want to do is unplug it from the wall. All right. So the next thing you're going to do is remove this metal vent. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 Phillip heads. Remove all of those next. All right. So we took all the screws out. And this part right here in the front is just going to lean down. This right here is your board, your motherboard for your washing machine. If you need the model number, let's see. That's it right there. 6871ER1085FC. It's a 2008 model. So that's what it looks like. All right, so we're going to remove this part here. Just take it off. Just like that. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is these braces. It's a brace here and it is one here. They both have two Phillip heads in it, one at the top and one at the bottom. So it's one right there and then one up here. You're going to remove those and remove the whole bracket, just the whole thing. All right, take that whole thing off. So you're just going to pull this whole thing off. Same with this one. All right, so now this whole top piece should be able to come loose if you just lift it up. But what we're going to do is sit it back down first. All right, now this whole top piece should be able to come off. If you just pull it, grab it, let's see, like here, like just like that. See that? So this whole piece will come off now. So we're going to slide it back. All right, so once you get the top slid back, you're going to have a Phillip head here and one right here that'll allow you to take this front piece off. All right, so remove those. All right, so we got the two screws out, and this whole piece in the front should just pull forward. See that? Just like that. Now, we got to open this part, and the rubber seal needs to be pushed in. So just grab it, push it in like that. See, now this whole front piece comes off. And we're just going to pick it up just like that. We're going to move that out the way. All right, so this right here, where the filter goes, and this black part, that's just the water channel. The pump is actually that blue and black part right there with the two electrical connections on it, the brown and the black. That's the pump. That's just, this right here is just the channel. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this clamp and this clamp. This hose is the hose that sucks the water out, you know, into the wall drain right here. And this part right here is where the water comes out of the drum down into this part, comes down, and then it sucks it out that way. All right, so what we're going to do is loosen up these clamps first. So I have these little locking pliers here. They're for those clamps. See how I got it? It just grabs it. And it's holding on to it, and all I got to do is just wiggle it off. Pull this whole thing off. See that? And then the pliers themselves, you can just unlock it by pulling this down right here. Just like that. And it'll let that go or whatever. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. All right. So we got this one pulled back, and then we're just going to wiggle this, pull that off. Now, it may be some water in there, so you might want to make sure that you can catch the water that comes out of this hose. Mine just doesn't have any. So this is disconnected, and this is disconnected. And what we're going to do is remove the two Phillip heads here. All right, so we got the two Phillip heads out. I'm just going to pull the whole thing out. Make sure you push this through. Then just pop this out. Like that. And then we're going to remove the two electrical connections right here. Just pull them out. Make sure you know where they go. Let's see. Okay, so it says N for the black, and it has a 1 for the brown. All right, so that's how you know which one goes on which. So black is N, and the 1, which is power. So, all right, so we're gonna remove those. All right, so we're gonna flip it over. This is the drain tube. Make sure you put this back on. I mean, technically, you can just leave it on there if you want to, but I'm gonna pull mine off because I want to take this motor loose from this channel. So you have 1, 2, 3 Phillip heads to remove, to disconnect the two. All right, so these are the 3 screws that came out. Let's pick this up. Okay. And this should come loose from each other. Let's see. There we go. Now, before you take this apart, you need to look at the orientation of it so you'll know how to put it back on. Okay. Let's see. This big open drain here and the clip on this side. That's how it goes back together. All right. So you see that? And the little clip right here, this blue part clip. Like if I take this loose, you can't put the other side on it. It'd be upside down. So it goes this way. And then you just line these holes up with the holes here. You can see it has 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Just line them up. That needs to be right though. All right. So we got that taken off. And this right here is the motor. Now you got to remove this white case off of it. So let's get that off. So to get this white case off the motor, I stuck a flathead screwdriver in here and pushed it back. So see how it's coming off. So it's basically almost off. And then you just got to clear the piece in the back. Just keep pushing it. I can't do it with one hand, but you can see it's basically off. Just stick it in there again and push back. It should come off. So you got to get this plastic piece over this little metal hump right here. And then this whole thing just comes off. And there you go. This right here is the motor. Let's turn it so that you can read it. Right there. All right. I'll have a link in the descriptions where you can get this motor. All right. This motor's bad. All right. So I remove the drain pump. This is the actual drain pump here. And I remove the manual drain tube here. Now, this drain tube was compacted with dirt from here to about here, which was stopping me from manually draining the tub. All right. So, you had that little plastic piece here. When you take that out, any water that's in the tub should drain out through this tube here. If it's not draining out through this tube, it's because this tube is compacted with dirt. Okay, so here's the new pump, genuine OEM part. Let's see what it looks like. So it looks the same to me. Yeah. So this right here is the same part. I'm going to test this part to see if this will turn. Oh, you know what? Now watch this. See that? If I pull it down, let go, it snaps back. This one does not do that. You see that? So I'll let you know this one's broken. See that? Watch the new one. See that? Yeah. This one's broken. All right. So I was going to test it, but I mean, that just lets me know it's broken. And then it's like crooked. If you look at it, it's like crooked. If you can see, look, you see that? I don't think this one does that. Yeah, this one doesn't even move. All right. So let's put this new pump in and put the drain plug back in. I think every now and again you should drain water out of the tub of the machine through this hose, just to keep this hose from being compacted. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and put this plastic piece back on the pump. I got it kind of slid on it a little bit. I'm just going to push it down in there. There you go. And we're going to bolt this back onto the housing. All right, so what we're going to do is, since we have it all together, is take this hose and put the hose back on this part right here. And all it does is just slide on it. There's no clamp or anything, just slide it on there. All right, so let's do that. All right, so with the connections in the back, remember that, let's see. Oh, this one didn't actually say it. So this side is in, this was the line. So the black one goes on this side and the brown one goes on this side. All right, so where you see this little hook right here, that side is the positive. So that's the brown wire. And then there's nothing on this side. That's the black wire. All right. Because on this one, it doesn't say, it doesn't have, or it's not labeled on this one. All right. But when you look at this one, it's labeled. And it's actually an L, not a line. Didn't realize that. So the left side, positive is L. The black one is N. Okay. If you put them basically the same way. See? But it doesn't tell you on this one. Okay. So just realize brown, black. So that's how it's going to look. And what we're going to do is put this back in here. All right. So the motor goes on this side. Put it in just like this. Now this little flat piece right here, it slides into this groove right here. So you're going to have to take it, put it in this little channel right here, and then slide it forward. Like that. There you go. So it's in there. Like I said, it has like a little channel that it slides into right there. Okay. So it's in there. And the next thing you're going to do is start reattaching the hoses. So this hose goes here, right there. Just push it all the way down like that. And then this hose goes on the back here. Just slide it all the way up like that. And then we're going to pull this clamp here and pull this clamp there. All right. So we got the clamp on here and the clamp here on. And then we put the screw in here and the screw in there. All right. So the pump is in and let's keep going. All right, guys. So before you put the front on, make sure that you grab this hose here and put it out this hole here. because if you put the front of the machine on, you won't be able to get to this. Okay, and pull that out just like that. All right, so make sure that that's out. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove this rubber seal so that we can clean it, or if you want to replace it. And squeeze this clamp here. Just kind of get your pair of pliers and squeeze this clamp like this, and then pull up on it and take that loose. Okay. Mine was a little easy to come off because I've already removed it, but try not to tear this nipple at all. You don't want to tear this. I actually looked in here, and this is like a drain, and it's clogged. If you can see that, it's disgusting. So we're going to clean this out too. All right, so you're going to look for another one of those rings, which is right here. You can see the ring. It's right here. And I think the easiest way to do this is to get you like a little right angle and just pull it. So we're going to pull it. There you go. You see it's already off. Just pull it off. You can see I can just pull this whole thing off. See that? So the whole thing just comes off. See, it's a lip right here. So when you put this back on, you got to take this, put it over the lip, and then take this ring and put it back in this groove. All right. So this whole thing will come off now. See that? All right. Let's go clean this bad boy. All right. So to clean that out, I'm just going to use my wet vac. I have like a little small wet vac. I'm going to try to get all this nasty stuff out of here. We're going to clean this thing up. So I'm just going to take this and just stick it over top of this and try to see if I can suck all that stuff out of there. All right, so I cleaned that hole out, and I cleaned all in there. There's stuff, still got suds in there, but cleaned all in there. Got that cleaned out, and my wife is cleaning the rubber seal now. All right, guys, so it is time to put the seal that I washed back on. This lip here is what you're looking for. See that lip? It's a lip on the plastic. This lip goes all the way around, and this seal is going to go there. Now, what you want to do is you want the D, the line of the D, to be facing you. Okay. So it goes on like this. All right. So the two holes are at the top. Okay. And remember, we have to plug it into this drain here, which is the one that's right here. Okay. So that needs to be on the bottom. So if you look at this thing, it has a bigger side and a smaller side. The bigger side needs to go on the plastic drum here. All right. So best way to line it up probably would be to kind of put it here and then attach this first. And then I started walking it around. As you can see, you got to get that part right there all the way on to the lip. See if I grab that. That lip is in there, that plastic lip. And I walked it all the way around. I'm going to check that top part just to make sure it's on there. But the rest of it is all the way around. If you put like some oil, some type of lubricant, around that grommet, it'd probably be a lot easier to get it on. I did it dry, so you probably need to put a little lube in there. It'll probably pop on a lot faster. And then if it's crooked, you probably can turn it, but like I said, the big side goes towards the actual drum, smaller side towards you. All right, so now we're going to put the ring on, and that just goes like, let me see if I can show you on this side. It goes right here. So it goes inside this part right here. You can see that it goes in here. And then you're going to walk it all the way around until you get the spring on this side. Okay. All right. So I got it fed all the way around in that groove, all the way around. And then I'm just going to take something and pull that hook over this. They have pliers that you could use to do it, but I'm probably just going to use that right angle tool I have. I'm just going to take this right angle. Stick it on here and just pull it up until I get it over that. But I'm going to be holding this part down. Yeah, so that wasn't really hard. See, it's on there. It's not coming off. All right, so you're going to get the front part of the washing machine, and these little slits here, they go right back on this point. And when you lift this up and put this on, make sure that that drain hose is out and out the square in front of the front part. I'm going to push it all the way on like that. And then we're going to grab the automatic lock, turn it this way, and bolt that on. To open the glass, you just push back on that like that. So we're going to take this, turn it this way, put that on, and then bolt it from the outside. All right, so I got this bolted on, put this one screw in right there. All right, so the next thing you want to do is put this on. And you're going to put the drain tube through the small hole here. Like that. And just snap that in. Like that. Push this in and snap that right there. And then we can take the filter, stick it back in. Just like that. Then we have this one screw right here that goes right here at the bottom. And then we're just going to run that down. And that's it. Take the door, stick it in sideways. That's it for that part. All right, so we got the one here at the top, the one there, this one back in, that one back in, and then the one down here at the bottom. Now you're going to grab this rubber and pull it out outside, just like that. And this lip part here goes over top of this. So you're going to put that over it and walk it all the way around. All right, let's do that. All right, so we got that tight all the way around. It's not coming off. All right. All right, now you have this one. And remember, the spring goes down at the bottom. So what we're gonna do is just, it sits right in here, in there. And you're gonna walk it all the way around, but make sure that this is at the bottom. Okay. I'm gonna walk it from here around to here, and then I'm gonna take the right angle and push it back in. All right, so I got it around. It was pretty easy too. Just try not to puncture it. Let's see if I can zoom up on it. It's behind that groove. Go down here at the bottom, you can see the spring at the bottom. All right, so the next thing you're gonna do is take the top and slide it over these points here. Just pick it up and just snap it down. All right, guys, so we got everything together, and the next thing you're gonna do is put these brackets back on. Let's do that. They go here and here. All right, so we got them on. Now remember, the screw that looks like this goes on the bottom right here. Pointy one goes on the top. Same with this side. All right, so we got the screws in and over here. Now all we have to do is put this part back like this, and then put the metal vent back on. All right, so we got all the screws in the back piece, and then all we have to do is hook up the hot and cold and plug it into the wall. All right, so we got everything hooked up, and all we got to do is just plug it up and turn it on, and we're going to run a cycle and see if it'll drain the water out, because it wasn't even pumping the water out. So that's what we're going to check. So right now it's doing a little wash, and what we're going to do is see if it'll drain this water out. So it's doing a wash now, and let's drain the water. All right, let's see if it'll drain. It's draining. You can hear it. It was draining. So it's working. And that's what was wrong with it. It wouldn't drain. You put a new pump in, it's washing and draining. Alright guys, this is J.O.A.T.D, and I am out.